What if I told you that right now, in 2026, there are countries that will let you pack your bags, get on a plane, land in their country, and then look for a job? No job offer. No employer sponsor. No agent. Just your qualifications, your ambition, and a legal visa that gives you months, in some cases a full year, to find work on the ground. This is not a dream. This is not a scam. This is called a job seeker visa, and it is one of the most powerful immigration tools available to skilled Nigerians right now. Today, I am going to walk you through the countries offering this visa in 2026, what each one requires, how long it lasts, what it costs, and how you can actually use it to change your life. This is the video I wish someone had made for me years ago. So if you have ever dreamed of working abroad legally and you did not know where to start, start here. Welcome to Social and Travels. Welcome back, everybody. And if you are brand new here, a very warm welcome to Social and Travels, the channel where we break down everything you need to know about travel, immigration, and working abroad in a way that actually makes sense for Nigerians. Today's video is one that I have been planning for a while, because I keep getting the same question in my DMs over and over again. Is there a way to travel abroad and look for a job without already having one? And the answer is yes, and more countries are offering this option than most people realize. Today we are going to cover 10 countries that currently offer job seeker visas or equivalent programs in 2026. I will cover each country in detail, what the visa is called, how long it lasts, who qualifies, what you need to apply, what it costs, what industries are hiring, and what happens once you land a job. I will also give you a general guide at the end on how to prepare yourself for the job search once you arrive. So stay with me from start to finish, because every section has information you need. The countries we are covering today are Germany, Portugal, the Netherlands, Austria, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Norway, the UAE, and South Korea. Let's get into it. Before we dive into the countries, let me make sure we are all clear on what a job seeker visa actually is, because there is a lot of confusion between this and a regular work visa. A job seeker visa, sometimes called a job search visa, a work search permit, or a job exploration visa depending on the country, is a temporary residence permit that allows you to enter a foreign country for the specific purpose of finding employment. The key difference between this and a regular work visa is this. A work visa requires you to already have a job offer from an employer in that country before you can apply. A job seeker visa does not require a job offer. You apply with your qualifications, your savings, and your plan, and the country lets you in to conduct your job search from within their borders. Why is this so powerful? Because anyone who has tried to get a job in a foreign country while sitting in Nigeria knows how hard it is. You apply online. You get to the final rounds. And then the company says, "We love you, but we cannot sponsor a work visa at this time." Or they never reply at all because they don't know how to handle international applicants. Being physically present in the country changes everything. You can attend interviews in person. You can network at industry events. You can walk into company offices. You can meet people. The job market opens up in a completely different way when you are on the ground. Now, there are some things job seeker visas do not do. They are not permanent visas. They will not automatically give you the right to stay forever. They have an expiry date, and if you have not found a job by then, you will need to leave. Also, most countries prohibit you from working full-time on a job seeker visa, though some allow part-time work to help you cover your expenses while you search. The goal is simple: find a job, get a formal work contract, and then convert your visa to a proper work permit or residence permit. That is the pathway. Now let us talk about the countries. Country 1, Germany. We start with Germany, and this is for very good reason. Germany is, without question, the most popular and most accessible job seeker visa destination for skilled Nigerians in 2026. Germany has a massive shortage of skilled workers, especially in engineering, IT, healthcare, and the trades, and the German government has built a specific immigration tool to address this, the Opportunity Card, which in German is called the Chancenkarte. What is the Chancenkarte? The Chancenkarte is a points-based visa that allows skilled workers from non-EU countries, including Nigeria, to come to Germany for up to 1 year to search for a job. You do not need a job offer. You do not need to have your degree formally recognized in Germany before you apply. You just need to meet the eligibility criteria and score enough points. How long does it last? Up to 12 months, 1 full year. This is one of the longest job search periods of any country on this list, which is a huge advantage. Can you work while on the Chancenkarte? Yes, but only part-time. You are allowed to work up to 20 hours per week while you are searching for a full-time position. You can also do trial jobs, where you work with a potential employer for up to 2 weeks to see if it is a good fit, and those trial jobs don't count against your 20-hour limit. What industries are hiring in Germany? Germany has critical shortages in engineering, mechanical, electrical, civil, information technology and software development, healthcare, nurses, doctors, care workers, skilled trades, electricians, plumbers, welders, and logistics. If you are in any of these fields, Germany is actively looking for people like you. Now let's talk about the eligibility requirements. There are 2 routes to getting the Chancenkarte. Route 1, the direct route, is for people whose foreign qualifications are already fully recognized in Germany. If your Nigerian degree or vocational qualification has been assessed and is considered equivalent to a German qualification, you qualify directly. No points required. You just need to prove you can financially support yourself. Route 2, the points route, is for everyone else. If your qualification is not yet fully recognized in Germany, you can still qualify by scoring at least 6 points from a points-based system. Here is how the points break down. For your qualification, if your degree is partially recognized in Germany, you earn 4 points. If it is completed in a shortage occupation area, that adds 1 more point. For language skills, having basic German at A1 level earns you 1 point. Intermediate German at A2 earns you 2 points. Fluent German at B1 earns you 3 points. Having advanced English at C1 earns you 1 point. For professional experience, having 2 years of relevant work experience earns you 1 point. Having 5 years or more earns you 2 points. For age, being 35 years old or younger earns you 2 points. Being between 35 and 40 earns you 1 point. For connection to Germany, if you have previously studied, worked, or done an internship in Germany, that earns you 1 point. For having a qualified spouse or partner accompanying you, that earns 1 point. Let me give you a real example. Say you are a Nigerian nurse, age 32, with 4 years of work experience, and you have an English proficiency score at B2. Your vocational qualification is partially recognized in Germany. Here is how your points would look. 4 points for partial recognition, 2 points for your professional experience, 2 points for being under 35. That is already 8 points, well above the 6 you need. You qualify. What are the financial requirements? You must prove you can support yourself while in Germany. As of 2026, this means showing you have at least 1,091 euros per month, which works out to approximately 13,092 euros for a full year. The most widely accepted way to prove this is through a blocked bank account, called a Sparkonto, where the funds are deposited and can only be withdrawn in monthly installments. You can open a blocked account through providers like Expatrio, Coracle, or Fintiba. What documents do you need? You will need a valid passport, your degree certificate or vocational training certificate, proof that your qualification is recognized, either fully or partially, in Germany, proof of your language proficiency, a Goethe certificate for German or IELTS, TOEFL for English, proof of funds, your blocked account confirmation, health insurance coverage for the duration of your stay, your CV, a cover letter explaining your career plans in Germany, and evidence of your job search efforts. 4. Example, applications you have already submitted to German companies. How much does it cost? The visa application fee for the Chancenkarte is just €75. That is one of the cheapest on this entire list. You apply through the German embassy in Abuja or the consulate in Lagos. Processing time? Between 2 and 12 weeks, depending on the embassy workload. Apply early. What happens after you get a job? Once you secure full-time employment in Germany that matches your qualifications, you apply to switch from the Chancenkarte to a regular work permit, an EU blue card, or a skilled worker visa, all without having to leave Germany. And from there, a path to permanent residency opens up. Germany is the gold standard of job seeker visas in 2026. If you are a skilled professional, this should be your first option to seriously consider. Our second country is Portugal, and Portugal has quickly become one of the most popular destinations for Nigerians and Africans seeking a legal pathway into Europe. The climate is warm, the cost of living is lower than most of Western Europe, the people are known to be welcoming, and the immigration policy has become increasingly open to skilled non-EU workers. What is the visa called? Portugal's program is called the Job Seeker Visa, or in Portuguese, Visto de Procura de Trabalho. It was introduced to attract skilled professionals from outside the EU to come to Portugal, settle in, and find work in the country's growing economy. How long does it last? The initial job seeker visa is granted for 120 days, that is 4 months. And importantly, it can be extended by an additional 60 days, giving you up to 6 months in total to find a job. Can you work while on the visa? Generally, no. You are in Portugal to search for work, not to work. However, once you receive a job offer and sign a contract, you can apply to convert your visa to a work and residence permit without leaving the country. What industries are hiring in Portugal? Portugal's economy has been growing steadily, with particular demand in technology and software development, tourism and hospitality, healthcare and nursing, renewable energy, engineering, and finance and accounting. Portugal has become a major hub for tech companies and startups, particularly in Lisbon, which now hosts one of Europe's largest tech conferences, the Web Summit, every year. Eligibility requirements. To qualify for the Portuguese job seeker visa, you need to show the following. First, you must be a non-EU citizen. Nigerians qualify. Second, you must demonstrate financial self-sufficiency. Portugal requires you to show proof of funds of approximately €1,000 per month for the duration of your stay. So for 4 months, that is around €4,000, or roughly €5,600 if you are extending for the full 6 months. This is one of the lower financial requirements on this list, making Portugal accessible to a wider range of applicants. Third, you need accommodation confirmation. Either a hotel booking, an Airbnb, or a lease agreement for where you will be staying in Portugal. Fourth, you need health insurance valid for the duration of your stay in Portugal. Fifth, you need a clean criminal record from Nigeria, certified with an apostille stamp. Sixth, you need a CV or resume that clearly demonstrates your professional qualifications and work history. Seventh, a cover letter explaining your reasons for wanting to work in Portugal, your skills, and your career intentions. What does it cost? The visa application fee for Portugal's job seeker visa is approximately €90. This is very affordable and makes Portugal one of the most budget-friendly entries on this list, especially when you combine the relatively low financial proof requirements with the affordable visa fee. Where do you apply? You apply at the Portuguese embassy in Abuja. Portugal's embassy in Nigeria processes visa applications directly, and there are also VFS global centers that handle the documentation submission. The big advantage of Portugal. Because Portugal is part of the Schengen area, which is a group of 26 European countries that have eliminated border controls between themselves. A Portuguese job seeker visa gives you the freedom to travel across Europe during your stay. So while you are searching for work in Lisbon, you can also attend job fairs in Madrid, visit contacts in Paris, or explore opportunities in Amsterdam. This is a massive advantage that most people do not think about. What happens after you get a job? Once you have a signed employment contract, you apply for a work and residence permit, which can lead to permanent residency in Portugal after 5 years and Portuguese citizenship after 5 years of legal residence. Portugal's citizenship pathway is one of the more accessible in Europe, which makes it a very attractive long-term destination. The Netherlands is our third country, and this one is particularly exciting for graduates, especially recent university graduates, because the Netherlands offers what is called the Zoekjaar, which translates directly to search year in Dutch. And it is exactly what it sounds like, a full year to search for a job in one of Europe's most dynamic economies. What is the Zoekjaar? The Zoekjaar is a one-year residence permit specifically designed for highly educated graduates who want to find work in the Netherlands after completing their degree. And the unique thing about this visa compared to most others on this list is that it comes with full work rights. You are not restricted to 20 hours per week like in Germany. You can work full-time while you search for your ideal permanent position. This makes the Zoekjaar one of the most generous job seeker-type programs in Europe. Who qualifies? The Zoekjaar has a specific eligibility requirement that is important to understand. To qualify, you must have completed a degree from either a Dutch university or from a university that appears in the top 100 of a recognized global university ranking, such as the QS World University Rankings or the Times Higher Education Rankings. This means that if you graduated from the University of Lagos, the University of Ibadan, the University of Nigerian Nsukka, or any other Nigerian university, unless that university is in the global top 100, you will not qualify for the Zoekjaar. However, if you have a degree from a top-ranked international university, say you studied in the UK, Canada, Australia, or the US and your university is in the global top 100, you would qualify. This makes the Zoekjaar a specific opportunity for Nigerians who have international degrees from top-ranked universities, or Nigerians who have completed postgraduate degrees, masters or PhDs, from top institutions abroad. How long does it last? 12 months, 1 full year. And you can work full-time during this entire period. What industries are hiring in the Netherlands? The Netherlands has strong demand in technology and IT, logistics and supply chain. The Port of Rotterdam is the largest port in Europe. Financial services, agriculture and food technology, engineering, and life sciences and pharmaceuticals. Companies like Shell, Philips, ASML, Booking.com, and many global tech companies have their European headquarters in the Netherlands. Financial requirements. You must prove you can support yourself financially during your stay. The amount required is approximately €1,750 per month for 2026, which is on the higher end compared to Portugal. However, remember that you can work full-time on this visa, so you can supplement your savings with income relatively quickly. What does it cost? The application fee for the Zoekjaar is approximately €192. This is paid when applying through the Dutch Immigration Authority, known as the IND, the Immigratie en Naturalisatiedienst. What happens after you find a job? Once you secure employment in the Netherlands, you transition to a work and residence permit. If your salary meets the threshold for a highly skilled migrant permit, which in 2026 is approximately €4,171 per month for applicants under 30, and €5,688 per month for those 30 and over, you can qualify for that highly desirable status, which comes with fast-tracked processing and other benefits. Country 4, Austria. Austria is a country that many Nigerians do not immediately think about when considering work abroad, but it is absolutely worth serious attention, especially for highly skilled professionals and researchers. Austria's job seeker program is embedded within a wider immigration system called the Red White Red Card, named after the colors of the Austrian flag. What is the Red White Red Card? The Red White Red Card is Austria's points-based immigration system for skilled workers from non-EU countries. Within this system, there is a specific pathway for very highly qualified workers, essentially people with exceptional academic or professional credentials, that functions like a job seeker visa, allowing them to enter Austria to search for employment. How long does it last? 6 months, during which you search for qualifying employment in Austria. Who qualifies? This pathway is particularly well suited to people with a high level of academic achievement. To qualify as a very highly qualified worker under the Red White Red Card, you need to score at least 70 points from a points-based criteria system. Points are awarded for your level of education. A PhD earns significantly more points than a bachelor's degree, your professional experience, especially in research or senior roles, your age, younger applicants generally score higher, language skills in German or English, prior study or work in Austria, and whether you are applying in a shortage occupation. This makes Austria particularly attractive for PhD holders, postdoctoral researchers, senior engineers, and professionals with specialized expertise in science, technology, and innovation. What industries are hiring in Austria? Austria has significant demand in IT and software development, engineering, particularly mechanical and electrical, research and academia, finance, and healthcare. Vienna, Austria's capital, is increasingly establishing itself as a tech and startup hub in Central Europe. Financial requirements. You must demonstrate financial self-sufficiency during your stay. Austria requires a minimum income demonstration that covers your living expenses, approximately €1,200 to €1,500 per month is the general benchmark. Language requirements. German language skills give you additional points and dramatically improve your chances of finding a job quickly, as most Austrian employers expect at least conversational German. English language roles do exist, particularly in multinational companies and tech firms, but learning German, even at a basic level, is a significant advantage. What does it cost? The application fee for the Red White Red Card is approximately €160. What happens after you find a job? Once you secure qualifying employment in Austria, your Red White Red Card is converted to a full work and residence permit, which allows you to live and work in Austria for a minimum of 2 years, renewable thereafter. After 5 years of continuous legal residence, you can apply for permanent residency. Country 5, Sweden. Sweden is one of the most progressive, innovative, and desirable countries in the world to live and work in. It consistently ranks among the top countries globally for quality of life, work-life balance, gender equality, and social welfare. And in 2026, Sweden continues to offer a job seeker residence permit for qualified professionals. What is the visa called? Sweden's program is called the Job Seeker Permit, administered by the Swedish Migration Agency, known as the Migrationsverket. How long does it last? Sweden's job seeker permit is offered for between 3 and 9 months. The duration of up to 9 months is notably longer than some other countries on this list, giving you a generous window to conduct your search. Can you work while on the permit? This is the key limitation of Sweden's program, no. Unlike the Netherlands, Sweden does not allow you to work while on the job seeker permit. You must have sufficient savings to cover yourself for the entire duration without earning income locally. This is an important financial consideration. Who qualifies? To qualify for Sweden's job seeker permit, you generally need a university degree at the master's or doctoral level from a recognized university. Sweden specifically targets highly qualified professionals with advanced education. It is not a program for people without university degrees. What industries are hiring in Sweden? Sweden is home to some of the world's most innovative companies: Spotify, H&M, Volvo, Ericsson, IKEA, and many others. The Swedish job market has strong demand in technology and software, telecommunications, automotive engineering, life sciences and pharmaceuticals, healthcare, and green energy, Sweden is a global leader in sustainability and renewable energy. Financial requirements. You must demonstrate sufficient funds to cover your living expenses for the entire duration of your stay. Living costs in Sweden are moderate by Scandinavian standards. Roughly €1,200 to €1,500 per month is a reasonable budget for a single person in most Swedish cities outside Stockholm, where costs are higher. Language requirements. The good news about Sweden is that the country has one of the highest English proficiency rates in the world. Most Swedish companies, especially in technology and research, conduct business entirely in English. So while learning Swedish is always an advantage and will be appreciated, it is not a hard requirement for many professional roles. What does it cost? The application fee for the Swedish job seeker permit is approximately 2,000 Swedish krona, which is roughly €180 at current exchange rates. You apply online through the Swedish Migration Agency's website. The process is largely digital and well organized. What happens after you find a job? Once you have a job offer, you apply for a Swedish work permit. Sweden's work permit system is employer-driven. Your employer files the initial permit application. Processing is generally fast. And after 4 years of legal work in Sweden, you can apply for permanent residency. Country 6, Denmark. Denmark is consistently ranked as one of the happiest countries in the world, with outstanding public services, generous parental leave, a short working week, and a culture that deeply values work-life balance. For skilled professionals, Denmark offers 2 specific pathways that function similarly to a job seeker visa, the positive list and the pay limit scheme. What are these programs? Denmark does not use the exact label job seeker visa, but these 2 pathways effectively serve the same purpose of connecting foreign skilled workers with the Danish job market. The positive list is a regularly updated list of occupations that Denmark has identified as being in critical shortage. If your profession appears on the positive list, you can apply for a fast-tracked work and residence permit without needing to meet the same salary requirements that apply to other applicants. In 2026, the positive list includes professions in healthcare, particularly nurses, doctors, and physiotherapists, IT and software engineering, research and academia, and several engineering disciplines. The pay limit scheme is a separate pathway. Under this scheme, if you can secure a job offer in Denmark that meets a minimum annual salary threshold, currently set at approximately DKK 448,000 per year, which is about €60,000, you can get a work and residence permit relatively quickly, regardless of your specific profession. Now, while these are technically not job seeker visas in the strictest sense, because you do need a job offer for both pathways, Denmark is still relevant because the country's active demand for foreign talent is so high that many Danish employers are open to hiring directly from abroad. And many Nigerians have successfully used Portugal or Germany job seeker visas to job search across the Schengen area, including Denmark. What industries are hiring in Denmark? Denmark is a world leader in wind energy and renewable technology. Companies like Vestas and Ørsted are headquartered there. There is also strong demand in life sciences and pharmaceuticals, IT, healthcare, maritime industries, and food technology. Language requirements. Danish is the primary language, but English is very widely spoken in professional environments. Many international companies operating in Denmark use English as their working language. That said, learning basic Danish will significantly improve your integration and career prospects. What does it cost to live in Denmark? Denmark has a high cost of living, particularly in Copenhagen. However, salaries are correspondingly high, and the social welfare system is extensive once you are legally employed and paying taxes. Country 7, Finland. Finland is a country that has been making significant strides in attracting international talent, and in 2026 it offers a job search permit for qualified professionals and graduates. What is the visa called? Finland's program is called the Job Search Permit or the Residence Permit for a Job Seeker, and it is administered by the Finnish Immigration Service, known as Migri. How long does it last? Finland's Job Search Permit is typically issued for 6 months, giving you half a year to find employment. Who qualifies? Finland specifically targets professionals with higher education degrees, bachelor's level and above. You need to demonstrate that your qualifications are in demand in Finland's labor market. The permit is also available to international graduates who have recently completed their degrees in Finland and want to remain to find work. What industries are hiring in Finland? Finland has strong demand in information and communications technology. Finland is the birthplace of Nokia and has a vibrant tech ecosystem, particularly in Helsinki. There is also demand in healthcare and social services, engineering and manufacturing, education, particularly in English language teaching roles, and clean technology and sustainability. Financial requirements. You must show that you can financially sustain yourself during your 6-month search. The general benchmark is approximately €1,500 per month, so roughly €9,000 in available funds for the full 6 months. Language requirements. Finnish is notoriously one of the most difficult languages in the world to learn. However, the international tech sector in Finland, particularly in Helsinki, operates extensively in English. If you are targeting tech roles or international companies, English alone can be sufficient. Learning even basic Finnish, however, will distinguish you from other international candidates and demonstrate commitment. What does it cost? The application fee for Finland's job search permit is approximately €500, making it one of the more expensive application fees on this list. Factor this into your overall budget. What happens after you find a job? Once you secure employment, you apply for a Finnish residence permit for employed persons. After 5 years of continuous legal residence in Finland, you can apply for permanent residency. Finland also has a pathway to Finnish citizenship after 6 years. Country 8, Norway. Norway is one of the wealthiest countries in the world, driven by its vast oil and gas revenues, and it offers consistently high salaries, exceptional quality of life, and stunning natural beauty. While Norway does not have a single, clearly labeled job seeker visa in the way that Germany or Portugal does, it does have specific immigration pathways that allow skilled workers to enter Norway and look for work. What is Norway's pathway? Norway offers a skilled worker permit that, in some cases, can be applied for from within Norway after arrival on a different basis. However, the more relevant pathway for Nigerians is applying from Nigeria directly for a skilled worker permit once you have a job offer. Norway's job market is particularly relevant because its high demand for international talent means many Norwegian employers actively recruit from abroad. However, Norway is worth including on this list for a specific reason. Norway's immigration rules allow certain non-EU nationals to come to Norway on a job search basis if they can demonstrate financial self-sufficiency and a credible job search plan, particularly in shortage occupations. The process is less formalized than Germany's Chancenkarte, but the pathway exists. What industries are hiring in Norway? Norway's biggest demand is in oil and gas engineering. Norway is one of the world's largest oil exporters, and the sector employs thousands of international engineers and technicians. There is also strong demand in renewable energy, particularly offshore wind, where Norway is investing heavily, maritime and shipping industries, healthcare and nursing, IT and software development, and construction and engineering. Financial requirements. Norway has a high cost of living, and you will need to demonstrate substantial financial means to support yourself during a job search. Oslo in particular is one of the most expensive cities in Europe. Budget approximately 15,000 Norwegian kroner to 18,000 per month, roughly €1,300 to €1,600. Language requirements. Norwegian is the primary language. However, in oil and gas, maritime, and many tech environments, English is the working language. Learning basic Norwegian significantly helps with daily life and will impress employers. Salary expectations. Norwegian salaries are among the highest in Europe. Average salaries in skilled professions can range from 500,000 Norwegian kroner to 900,000 Norwegian kroner per year, which at current exchange rates is roughly €44,000 to €80,000. For Nigerians who successfully land roles in Norway, the financial reward is significant. Now we move outside of Europe to a destination that many Nigerians already know well and have connections to, the United Arab Emirates. The UAE, and specifically Dubai and Abu Dhabi, is one of the most dynamic job markets in the world, and in 2026 it offers what is called a job exploration visa. What is the job exploration visa? The UAE Job Exploration Visa is a multiple-entry visa that allows professionals to come to the UAE to search for employment without a job offer. It is available for durations of 60 days, 90 days, or 120 days, depending on which option you apply for. Who qualifies? The UAE has specific criteria for this visa. You must have a minimum of 3 years of professional work experience in your field. You must hold a university degree from a university ranked in the world's top 500, according to recognized global rankings such as QS or Times Higher Education. And you must demonstrate financial self-sufficiency for the duration of your stay. The top 500 university requirement is an important one. Many Nigerian universities are not currently ranked in the global top 500, which means some applicants may not meet this specific requirement. However, Nigerians who hold degrees from internationally recognized universities, or who have postgraduate degrees from highly ranked institutions abroad, will qualify. What industries are hiring in the UAE? The UAE's economy is diverse and growing rapidly. In Dubai particularly, there is massive demand in finance and banking, technology, and AI. The UAE has made artificial intelligence a national strategic priority. Real estate and construction, hospitality and tourism, media and entertainment, healthcare, and logistics. The UAE has also positioned itself as a global hub for cryptocurrency and fintech. The key advantage of the UAE. Tax-free income. The UAE does not have personal income tax. This means that your full salary goes into your pocket. For someone earning AED 25,000 per month, which is roughly $6,800, that entire amount is yours to keep. For Nigerians with strong financial skills, tech skills, or healthcare qualifications, the UAE's tax-free income model is extraordinarily attractive. The key challenge of the UAE. Dubai is expensive. Rent, food, and transportation costs in Dubai are high. As one analysis puts it, budget a minimum of $4,000 per month for living comfortably in Dubai while you job search. This means you need substantial savings before you arrive. The UAE Job Exploration Visa is best suited for professionals who are targeting senior roles with high salaries, not entry-level positions. Financial requirements. You need to show a deposit or proof of funds, approximately AED 5,000 as a visa deposit, plus enough monthly living expenses for your duration of stay. What does it cost? The application process typically involves fees of approximately AED 2,000 to AED 3,000, roughly $545 to $820, depending on the duration you choose and the application channel you use. Language requirements. English is the business language of the UAE. Arabic is the official language of the country, but in professional environments, English is universally used. This makes the UAE one of the most linguistically accessible destinations on this list for Nigerians, who are predominantly English speakers. What happens after you find a job? Your employer will sponsor your work and residence visa. The UAE residency system is employer-sponsored, which means once you have a job offer, the company handles your residence permit. Contracts typically run for 2 years, renewable, and many professionals build long careers in the UAE. Our final country is one that might surprise some of you, South Korea. South Korea is a global powerhouse in technology, entertainment, electronics, and manufacturing. It is home to companies like Samsung, LG, Hyundai, Kia, and SK Group. And South Korea has a job seeker visa program that allows skilled foreign professionals to come and explore the Korean job market. What is the visa called? South Korea's program is called the D10 visa, the job seeker visa. It allows non-Korean nationals to enter South Korea and search for employment for up to 6 months. Who qualifies? The D10 visa is available to professionals with recognized university degrees or professional qualifications. South Korea is particularly interested in attracting talent in technology, engineering, science, and healthcare. Applicants must demonstrate that they have relevant skills and qualifications that match Korea's labor market needs. How long does it last? Up to 6 months, with the possibility of extension in some circumstances. Can you work while on the visa? No, the D10 is purely for job searching. You cannot work during this period, which means you need sufficient savings to cover your living expenses for the full duration. What industries are hiring in South Korea? South Korea has strong demand in semiconductor engineering and manufacturing, IT and software development, electronics, automotive engineering, healthcare, particularly as Korea's population ages, content creation and entertainment. The K-wave or Korean wave has made Korean entertainment a global industry, and English language teaching. Language requirements. Korean is the business language of South Korea, and most job roles will require at least conversational Korean. However, there is growing demand for English-speaking tech professionals in international companies operating in Korea, and the Korean government has been investing in English language infrastructure to attract more international talent. Learning Korean, even at a basic level, is strongly recommended if you are serious about this destination. Financial requirements. You need to show sufficient funds to cover your stay. Seoul, South Korea's capital, has a moderate cost of living by global city standards, approximately $1,500 to $2,000 per month for a single person. What does it cost? The D10 visa application fee is approximately $45, making it one of the most affordable visa fees on this entire list. What happens after you find a job? Once you secure employment, you convert to an E-Series work visa depending on your specific profession, for example, an E7 for skilled workers or an E1 for professors. After working in Korea for a period, there are pathways to long-term residency through the F-Series of visas. Alright. Now that we have covered all 10 countries, let me give you the practical guide that most people skip over, but which is arguably the most important part of this whole process. Because a job seeker visa is only as useful as how well you prepare to use it. Getting the visa is one thing. Actually getting a job is another. Here is how to maximize your chances. Number 1. Get your documents in order before you apply. Your educational credentials need to be formally verified. Depending on which country you are targeting, you may need a WES evaluation, World Education Services, which is used for Canada and some other countries. For Germany specifically, you will interact with the ANABIN database and potentially the ZAB, the Central Office for Foreign Education. Start this process early. Credential recognition can take weeks or even months. Number 2. Start your job search before you arrive. Do not wait until you land to begin applying. Start sending applications on LinkedIn, Xing, which is Germany's LinkedIn equivalent, the national job portals of your target country, and directly through company websites, at least 3 to 6 months before your departure. By the time you arrive, you should already have connections, conversations started, and potentially some interviews lined up. The goal is not to start from zero on the ground, it is to have already warmed the market before you get there. Number 3. Invest in language learning. Even if the country you are targeting uses English in many professional settings, learning the local language, even at a basic level, shows respect, commitment, and cultural awareness. Employers notice it. In Germany, even getting to A2 or B1 in German significantly increases your employability. In the UAE, basic Arabic phrases go a long way in terms of cultural respect, even though English is the business language. Number 4. Build your professional network online first. Connect with professionals in your target country on LinkedIn before you arrive. Join expat communities, Nigerian diaspora groups in your target country, and industry-specific networking groups. When you arrive, attend industry meetups, job fairs, and networking events. In Germany, registering with the Bundesagentur für Arbeit, the Federal Employment Agency, is a practical step. In the Netherlands, registering with the UWV Employment Insurance Agency puts you on the official radar. Number 5. Bring originals and apostilled copies of all your documents. Apostille is a form of international document certification. In Nigeria, apostilles are issued by the Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Your degree certificate, your NYSC discharge certificate, your transcript, your professional certifications, all of these should be apostilled before you travel. Employers and immigration officers abroad will ask for certified copies, and apostilled documents are universally accepted. Number 6. Budget generously, and then add more. Whatever financial requirement a country officially states, treat it as the bare minimum. Add at least 3 to 6 months of additional buffer on top. Job searches do not always go smoothly. There can be delays, unexpected costs, reapplication fees, or simply a longer search than you anticipated. The worst position to be in is running out of money before you have found a job. Go prepared. Number 7. Have a backup plan. Always know what you will do if things do not go as planned. Will you extend your visa if the country allows it? Do you have a return plan if you need to come back to Nigeria? Is there a second country on this list that you could pivot to? Having a plan B is not being negative, it is being smart. Before we wrap up, let me give you a quick side-by-side comparison of all 10 countries so you can see at a glance how they stack up. Germany, duration, 12 months. Work allowed, yes, 20 hours per week. Visa fee, €75. Financial requirement, approximately €1,091 per month. Best for engineering, IT, healthcare, skilled trades. Portugal, duration, 4 to 6 months. Work allowed, no, until you convert the visa. Visa fee, €90. Financial requirement, approximately €1,000 per month. Best for tech, tourism, healthcare. Bonus, Schengen access. The Netherlands, duration, 12 months. Work allowed, yes, full-time. Visa fee, approximately €192. Financial requirement, approximately €1,750 per month. Best for top-ranking university graduates in tech, logistics, finance. Austria, duration, 6 months. Work allowed, limited. Visa fee, approximately €160. Financial requirement, approximately €1,200 to €1,500 per month. Best for PhDs, researchers, highly qualified specialists. Sweden, duration, up to 9 months. Work allowed, no. Visa fee, approximately €180. Financial requirement, approximately €1,200 to €1,500 per month. Best for Masters and PhD graduates in tech, healthcare, green energy. Denmark, duration, varies by pathway. Work allowed, yes, once employed. Visa fee, varies. Financial requirement, varies. Best for healthcare professionals, engineers, renewable energy specialists. Finland, duration, 6 months. Work allowed, no. Visa fee, approximately €500. Financial requirement, approximately €1,500 per month. Best for tech professionals, healthcare workers, graduates. Norway, duration, varies. Work allowed, depends on specific permit. Financial requirement, approximately €1,300 to €1,600 per month. Best for oil and gas engineers, healthcare workers, maritime professionals. UE, duration, 60, 90, or 120 days. Work allowed, no. Financial requirement, AED 5,000 deposit plus monthly living costs. Best for finance, tech, healthcare professionals from top-ranked universities. Tax-free income. South Korea, duration, 6 months. Work allowed, no. Visa fee, approximately $45. Financial requirement, approximately $1,500 to $2,000 per month. Best for tech engineers, healthcare workers, English teachers. Let me leave you with this thought before I wrap up. The world is changing. Countries that used to make it nearly impossible for Africans and Nigerians to come in without jumping through enormous hoops are now actively creating legal pathways, job seeker visas, opportunity cards, talent schemes, because they need skilled people. Their populations are aging. Their birth rates are declining. Their industries have vacancies they cannot fill from within their own borders. You are the solution to their problem. Your engineering degree, your nursing qualification, your IT skills, your finance expertise, these are in demand. And these job seeker visas are the country's way of saying, come, show us what you can do. We want you here. The question is not whether the opportunity exists. The question is whether you are prepared to take it seriously. Whether you will get your documents in order, learn the language, build your network, save your money, and walk through the door that has been opened for you. I believe you can. And Social and Travels is here to help you every step of the way. If this video helped you, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps more Nigerians find this information. Drop a comment below telling me which country you are most interested in. I would love to know. And subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because we are going to keep making content like this to help you navigate the world with confidence and clarity. This is Social and Travels. Travel smart. Go legal. Go prepared. I will see you in the next one.